Okay, let's do problem 6 through 10 on the 2025 AMC 8. So, Siko writes down the numbers 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He erases one number and the sum of the remaining numbers is a multiple of 4. So immediately multiple of 4, let's take it mod 4. So the mod is just the remainder. Let's just look at the remainders. So this is 3, then we get 0 remainder 4, then we get 1 remainder 4, 2 remainder 4, 3 remainder 4. And if the sum of the remaining 4 numbers is a multiple of 4, that means the sum of these remainders has to be a multiple of 4. Right now, the sum of these remainders is 3 plus 3, 6, plus another 3 is 9. So we want to remove one number. That makes this a multiple of 4. That number is 1 because then we get 9 minus 1 equals 8, which is a multiple of 4. The 1 corresponds to 17, so that's the number we want to erase. On the most recent exam in Professor Zoshi's class, 5 students earned at least 95%, 13 at least 90, 27 at least 85, 50 at least 80. How many students earned a score of at least 80 and less than 90? And so the trap here is that these 50 students who earned at least 80% includes this 27, includes this 13, includes this 5, because they all earned more than 80%. So if we want to find less than 90% and at least 80%, we start with 50 and let's subtract off the people who earned more than 90%. So that does not satisfy this. So we know that 13 people earned more than 90%. So 50 minus 13 is answer 37. Note that we don't add the 5 because the 13 already counts the 5 because, well, the people who earn more than 95, obviously they earn more than 90. That's a trivial statement right there. Next, Isaiah cuts open a cardboard cube along some of its edges to form the flat shape, which is an area of 18 square centimeters. What is the volume of the cube? So this has an area of 18 square centimeters, so, well, each square must be the same. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares, so each of these squares has an area of 3. And so that means one of the side lengths is going to be square root of 3, and so the volume of the cube is just square root of 3 cubed, which is going to be equal to 3, or square root of 3 times square root of 3 times square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. So this goes here, 3, and then we just get a 3 times square root of 3, so that's answer A. Next, Ningley looks at the 6 pairs of numbers directly across from each other on a clock. She takes the average of each pair. What is the average of the resulting 6 numbers? So we want to find the average of the averages of these pairs of numbers. So let's just literally calculate that. So let's just get 12 and 6, that's 18, so that's 9. So we're done with 12 and 6. Next, 1 and 7, that's 8, so the average is 4. So, well, it's technically not the average, but, we're just dividing by 2. So 2 and 8, that adds to 10, so there's going to be a 5. And so 3 and 9, we're done with 2 and 8, 3 and 9, 12, 6, 4 and 10, and we're done with 3 and 9. So let's do 4 and 10, that's a 7. 5 and 11, that's a 17, that's a 16, so that's an 8. So these are the 6 pairs of numbers. These are the averages of the 6 pairs of numbers. So let's take the average of this. And so, well, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's actually in order. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we just want to find the average of this. And since they're all in this like nice increasing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we just need to look at the middle. This mean and the median are going to be the same. In this case, that's between 6 and 7. So the answer is 6 plus 7 divided by 2 is 6.5. Next, problem 10. In the figure below, ABCD is a rectangle with sides of length AB is 5 and AD is 3. We have rectangle ABCDs rotated 90 degrees clockwise around this point DC to give the second rectangle. We want to find the total area covered by the 2 overlapping rectangles. And so to find this, let's just first take the area of these rectangles separately. So let's just call this like rectangle, let's call this rectangle X. Let's call this rectangle Y. And so the sum of the area of these overlapping rectangles is the area of X plus the area of Y minus the area of this overlapping. So let's call that area of the overlapping O. So X plus Y minus O. So we know X, we know Y, because they're both rectangles, 5 times 3. So X is 15 plus Y is 15. Now we want to find the area of this square O, which this square is the overlap. And so since we know that this point is the midpoint of DC, we know DC is 5, so this is 2.5, this is 2.5. And similarly, since this rectangle is also the same thing as for this rectangle, they were just rotated it, so the rectangles are going to be the same. This rectangle is the same thing as this rectangle, so this is also 2.5, this is also 2.5. So this square is a 2.5 by 2.5 square. And so the area of that is 2.5 times 2.5 is 6.25. So we get 30 minus 6.25, that's answer D, 23.75.